How can we pave the way for hydrogen technology to decarbonize heavy industry? With over 250 employees, Sunfire is already one of the largest electrolysis companies in the world. Situated in Dresden, it is on a mission to put renewables in every sector through the use of this technology.
My name is Nils Aldag. I am Chief Executive Officer of Sunfire, and I'm one of the 3 founders of the company. So right now we're in Dresden, in Germany. We're standing at the moment at our premises in Dresden, here in the Gasanstaltstraße, the former site for the production of or the conversion of fossil gas. And more specifically, we're right now in our so-called power-to-liquids plant, which is a plant which converts renewable electricity via electrolysis and further processing into renewable fuels and gases. Sunfire has 2 different types of electrolyzers, and electrolyzers do the following thing. They use renewable electricity from sun, wind or water in order to split water into hydrogen and oxygen. And one thing that is specific for our technology is that we can not only produce hydrogen, but we are also capable of producing so-called carbon monoxide or syngas. This is basically the platform molecule to then produce, for example, kerosene for planes, diesel for ships, or other chemical molecules like methanol or methane. So the steel industry is one of the industries which is extremely interesting because it's one of the biggest emitters of carbon dioxide. I think 6 or 7% of the global CO2 emissions come from the steel industry. So GreenHy 2.0, as the name says, is the second project with Salzgitter. Salzgitter is a big steel manufacturer. And Salzgitter has been one of the first movers together with Sunfire in trying to develop technologies to produce so-called green steel. Not based on fossil coal anymore, but based on green hydrogen. And what we are doing in this project is that we are operating a megawatt electrolyzer in order to produce this green hydrogen. And what is interesting about this project is that the hydrogen is already being fed into the existing hydrogen pipelines at the steel plant. So it's actually going into their production processes. And one key target for 2021 is to now go from the pilot stage to the commercial level, meaning that we want to offer electrolyzers at larger than 100 megawatt of production capacity. Our pressurized alkaline electrolysis today has the base unit has a power input of about 10 megawatt, which corresponds to roughly 2,000 norm cubic meters of hydrogen per hour. And when we want to go to 100 megawatt, we just multiply this by 10 times. So I think a successful energy transition doesn't work without electrolysis and doesn't work without what we do here at Sunfire. We see that with solar energy and also wind energy, about 50, maybe 60% of CO2 emissions that we have today can be reduced to 0. But the other half of the emissions cannot be reduced with electricity directly, so they need gases and fuels. The European Commission last year has published a target for Europe for 2030 of about 40 gigawatt or 40,000 megawatt of installed electrolysis capacity. This is amazing, it's a great step, but a target is only the first step. What we need this year, which in my opinion is the key challenge for green hydrogen, is we need to have the regulatory framework in place which allows us to commercially operate green hydrogen producing electrolyzers.